British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has stated that the United Kingdom will provide Challenger 2 tanks and other artillery systems to Ukraine. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak offered on Saturday to deploy tanks and artillery equipment to Ukraine, amid escalating Russian missile attacks on Kyiv and other towns. According to Mr. Sunak's Downing Street office, he made the vow to provide Challenger 2 tanks and other artillery systems after speaking with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Saturday. It did not specify when or how many tanks will be supplied. Without specifying sources, British media reported that 4 British Army Challenger 2 main battle tanks will be dispatched to Eastern Europe immediately, with 8 more to follow shortly after. Mr. Zelensky commended Mr. Sunak in a tweet on Saturday for decisions that will not only strengthen us on the battlefield, but also convey the proper signal to other partners. Ukraine has been seeking bigger tanks for months, notably the U.S. Abrams and German Leopard 2 tanks, but Western officials have been cautious. Ukrainian Army have received Soviet-era T-72 tanks from the Czech Republic and Poland. Poland has also stated willingness to contribute a company of Leopard tanks. But President Andrzej Duda emphasized during a recent visit to the Ukrainian city of Lviv that such a step would only be viable as part of a bigger international coalition of tank help to Kyiv. France committed earlier this month to supply Ukraine with its AMX-10 RC armored combat vehicles, known as light tanks in French. Mr. Sunak made his remarks several hours after a series of explosions rocked Kyiv early Saturday morning. According to Ukrainian officials, a missile attack hit an infrastructure target. Explosions were heard in the Dniprovsky neighborhood, a residential area on the Dnieper River's left bank, according to Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. Klitschko further claimed that missile fragments fell on a non-residential sector in the Holosivsky district on the right bank, causing a brief fire in a structure. So far, no fatalities have been reported. It was unclear whether numerous Kyiv facilities were targeted or just the one that was reported struck. Since New Year's Eve, January 1st, the Ukrainian capital has not been hit by rockets. A residential structure in the outside Kyiv region was attacked, and windows in surrounding houses were blown out, according to Tymoshenko. According to Regional Gov Alexei Kuleba, 18 private houses were damaged in the region. There are damaged roofs and windows, but no casualties, according to Kuleba's Telegram post. He also stated that a fire at an important infrastructure site in the area had been extinguished. Earlier on Saturday, 2 Russian missiles struck Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, according to the governor of the Kharkiv region. According to Ola Syniehubov, Russian military launched 2 S-300 missiles towards Kharkiv's industrial zone. The strikes were aimed at energy and industrial objects in Kharkiv and the region, according to Mr. Syniehubov. There were no confirmed casualties, but emergency power outages in the city and other communities in the region were possible, according to the official. The attacks come in the wake of conflicting reports about the fate of Soledar, a fiercely disputed salt mining town in Ukraine's beleaguered east. Russia claims to have conquered the town, which would be a remarkable success for the Kremlin after a string of humiliating defeats on the battlefield. Ukrainian authorities and President Zelensky maintain that the fight for Soledar is still ongoing. The battle for the town and the nearby city of Bakhmut has been painted by Moscow as critical to capturing the eastern region of the Donbass, which includes the partially occupied Donetsk and Luhansk regions, as well as a way to grind down the best Ukrainian forces and prevent them from launching counterattacks elsewhere. However, Ukraine claims that its vigorous defense of eastern strongholds has helped tie up Russian soldiers. According to Western authorities and commentators, the significance of the 2 towns is symbolic rather than strategic.